Bring back that beat, DJ.
Indeed.
That's the official DJ of the Fourcast and the network.
Thank you,
Golden Eye Creations, always giving us something dope every single.
All right, H-Rap.
Every single show.
Thank you, Alfred.
Welcome to the Fourcast, man. We're back with another dope one tonight. Martin the Reunion, which is available on BET Plus. And if you ask, I mean, you should already know by now if you've been watching the show for any amount of time. It's a free trial. It's a free trial, people.
Here
we're
we
not
go.
interested in keeping BET Plus. Cancel that sugar. I canceled it
Yeah,
immediately.
I'm paying about $723 in free trial shit every month.
Hey, it's like that Columbia plan. You better cancel that before they start sending you.
I sure did.
Them
I did that
Bon Jovi CDs
and canceled it right after it went off.
I was the same way. But we're back again. Martin the Reunion, a historic show, legendary for the culture. Actually changed, I think, sitcoms as well. So we're gonna dive deep into that tonight. And this is the Fourcast, where we do things differently. We just do it differently. 4 different guys, 4 different perspectives, bringing it to you every Monday right at this exact time, 8:30, right after Man Talk Mondays, which comes on BS3 TV. And we're live on Roku, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you watch podcasts is where we're live at. So as we always do, let me go to A-Trap first. How you doing?
I'm good, man. No issues here.
Good. All right, Doc.
Oh, I'm next. Okay. Let me this.
I
I need to
digress.
give a little love. I need to give a little love to one of the shows on BS3 Network. Okay. They just had a show so powerful. I started to say to the Fourcast tonight, y'all handle it. I'm just going to be re-listening and re-watching this show, and that's Man Talk Mondays. They had Dr. Rod on there. The name of this episode was Daddies, Do We Need Them? And when I say, think about all the powerful guests we've had on BS3 Network. When I say this dude is dropping such knowledge bombs, man, there were literally people in the chat room saying, I can't stop crying, because he was hitting home so much on the impact and relationship of fathers. This dude went back to tribes in Africa and talked about how men were raised there and how it impacted them growing up versus how we do it today and some of the shortcomings we have. And when I say dude was strong, I mean super strong. Man Talk Mondays, Daddies, Do We Need Them? If you didn't watch that episode, when you get through with this, when we get through, go get on it.
Yeah, and they dropping heat like that every week. This is not like a one-time thing. Every single week, if they have a guest or don't have a guest, they're bringing the heat, and that's one of our prime time shows. So I 100% agree. All right, Wilkes. Also, what you got in the cup?
Oh, this is actually a Japanese whiskey. It's about 12 years old aged, and it's pretty good. It's a double malt. It's a single malt, excuse me. But no, it's pretty good.
This one ain't gonna ever be E&J, folks.
Oh,
No.
I mean, you just forget. It ain't gonna ever be Seagram 7, folks. It ain't gonna even be no base round royal, likely. You just can forget that.
Never.
No, that's out of the question.
Never. You're out of this world if you get. That's not simple, Wilkes.
Yeah,
Extravagant, man. And make sure to check out Wilkes' Facebook page. You know, post
Lake water.
Lake water.
Michigan's finest.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Filtered or unfiltered?
Unfiltered. I'm living on the edge.
Oh, he on the edge. He got all the minerals.
Yeah, all the mineral spices and rocks.
Yeah.
Minerals.
All right, let's get to a couple of people in the chat room. The fifth Beatle was the first one in the building. Keisha, aka what's the nickname that you got? K-Rap, K-Rap other. Theodore Harper in the building. Thank you for tuning in.
The Blue Streak Free. The blue streak freak Theodora Harper.
Just Joe, we ain't seen you in a minute. Hopefully you're doing well. I don't know if you back in if you just Joe from Houston or you just Joe back in Chicago. I don't know which one you are right now at this moment. Pastor Dodd in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Glad to see you here.
Now he's glad he's air freshener to be here is what he's trying to say. He's the air freshener in this man.
We love the reoccurring guests.
He's glad to be here. Shit. Well, I'm renewed to be here then, man. Thank you, Wilkes. You know I do the show. You know I do the show for you, baby. Yeah.
Our guy Overton Claiborne, thank you for tuning in.
Living single, Overton Claiborne.
Yep. He won Supporter of the Year last year. Coming up next month too, the BS3 Network Awards, the third annual. So be on the lookout. We actually got a meeting this week, so we can continue to plan that out. And the baby queen in the building, she said, "Hey fam, thank you for tuning in. I love seeing your posts. You always posting something either funny or something thought provocative. So appreciate the post on the daily."
Yeah, that's Bronx Mama.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 30 years. I didn't know it was that long. 30 years,
either, man.
Martin.
Me
either. Number one, I'm getting old. Y'all older. And number two, man, time flies, man. Time does not wait at all. It don't wait. So let's get into some initial thoughts. I think we already know, obviously, what the show was about. That part we don't need to talk about as much. But A-Trap, initial thoughts going into this. What did you think it was going to be? What was your thoughts when you heard about the Martin reunion show?
When I heard about it, I thought it was going to be super, super dope. One of the funniest shows, like you said, it's one of the funniest shows ever on TV. Perfect cast, and you know what? I think Martin was the last dude that made regular old TV.
Yeah. Yep.
Martin made regular TV that was funny, and you liked all the characters, and you just got involved in the show, and it was good to see everybody back together.
Yeah,
it was. Whoops.
Kind of just going off of what K-Rap was saying. I mean, when you watch the show, I mean, you felt like Nipsey's was a real bar. Like that was a place. Like it was like the spot where you went and hung out. So no, the show was significant for me. Of course, I couldn't wait to get back to school and talk to it. Talk to my friends about it because it's like that's what's on right now. Just like in Living Color. So it was one of those things where very significant. A lot of family built there on the set. I mean, like H.R. was saying, it's kind of like they just kind of meshed together. Like it was like I couldn't imagine Pam didn't make it 2 seasons, so now they got another Pam. It's like it's not the same.
Wouldn't have been the
like
same.
They got a different character, a different person to play her. So it was definitely good to see it again. It definitely had some memories.
Yeah. Shout out to D Great. Thank you for tuning in. I may not be able to check out the shows live, but I'll jump into the comments afterwards. So thank you for your support. R.I.P. Tommy. Yeah, man. That's and I'm gonna say this right now. That's the reason why they can't do an actual show.
Right.
Right.
That's why I said once again. Yeah, it's just they really just built this close knit of just being a family. It's like, and I think Doc has said this before. If one of us decide to not do the forecast, which we do have guest people on, but I guess it would not be the same.
It wouldn't be the same.
No, it won't. Yeah, it won't be the forecast no more. We had to change the name. Shit, something else. I said that before. I don't even know that we had aired an episode as the forecast when I made that statement.
No,
I think
we
said it in our private chat.
We were just the four of us. That was it.
Yeah.
Antoine Grant, thank you for tuning in. I think it's the first time viewer. You said that show is arguably the GOAT. I love the reunion, especially the tribute. I agree with you 100%.
Absolutely.
All right, dog.
Yeah, I got a confession to make. You know, this is 30 years ago. So 50 minus 30 is 20. At 20 years old, I was about 6'5", 185 pounds, lean mid machine. I was out there in them streets, just back from the war.
Yeah.
You know, I was a foreign veteran. Nobody can tell me nothing. I wasn't watching no TV, bruh, is what I'm trying to say. So a lot of this I got on, I had to get on reruns, and whatnot over the years. But obviously, just like everybody else, you have those iconic episodes like the Hitman Hearns. The fact that happened to be one of Martin's top moments too, was like right on. We got it right then, and it's almost like when they were talking throughout the episode, this reunion episode, that they vindicated everybody's. And it's like we all felt the same way about certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's like we all saw it the same way. So to me, what that demonstrates is a connect, right? The show gave us a connection, that is extremely rare. And now, because of how we view TV, will likely never be duplicated again.
Yeah. Never. I agree with that 100%.
Not even with a Jamie Foxx show. I think Martin just had that roadmap.
It was different, man.
It was just, especially, Martin was in that time where we just talked about, like Eddie Murphy, when you just had Boomerang and you had that. It was like another coming of the Black Renaissance. You had the Cosby Show and Different World. And you had In Living Color doing his thing, and music was doing his thing. It was just in that time, like Snoop. Like, I know I'm getting ahead of it, but like Snoop Dogg said, he said we were watching it in the studio.
Yeah.
He's like, this was
it. Yeah. In fact, he said we watched this more than we was recording.
Man,
and that's wild to hear from Snoop. The amount of albums that he's put out, the amount of music he's put out, being that close to Dr. Dre and everything. To me, I was kind of shocked because I thought I wouldn't have thought that he would have said that. But I think the biggest thing about Martin, my initial thoughts was I didn't want it to be if y'all seen the Fresh Prince one, but basically they was just sitting down talking the whole time. I didn't really want that, and I think this did give you more. So I knew it wasn't gonna be a show because it wasn't time. So I wasn't expecting that, but I didn't want just a boring sitting around, talking, drinking coffee. Which I think they gave you some sneak peeks. They gave you some stuff of stuff you didn't know. They gave you Brother Man from the Fifth Floor coming in. I mean, like they gave you that stuff that I think they were even surprised. So it didn't seem like it was like they knew ahead of time. They may knew they were coming, but I don't think they knew when. Probably exactly what was on the set. So and I agree with you. Shout out to Radio Kev if I didn't say that already. Appreciate you for tuning in. And Martin is simply timeless. That's it. It's still on today. It's almost like it's very similar to The Office. No matter what time of day, The Office is on TV on some type of channel. Martin could arguably be that same type. At any point in the day, it could be on, and somebody's gonna watch it.
Yeah.
CJ.
I think one of the things that made it that way and the way we're describing it, and it's the first time I'd heard it or considered this, is that he basically said, I took a sitcom and married it with a sketch show, So the sketch shows like the Dave Chappelle shows and then your regular sitcoms like the Cosby Show or whatever. He's like, I took those concepts and put them together. So a lot of what we were doing on sitcom was actually sketch comedy. And when you think about it, you're like, you know what? He's right. That was just a sketch that they did, just a skit that they did, but they did it in a way where it merged it in a sitcom. And I think that unique combination, Martin Lawrence is just a genius, man. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. He's a genius. When they talk about how he came up with the show, this dude is a comedic genius, simple, pure as that.
Yeah. Antoine says, minus the last season, I think he's talking about Gina. Martin and Tanisha had their issues off screen, and there was no Gina. The writing was subpar that last season. And honestly, I say I don't remember the last season because I think that everything that led up into that season was so great that one season to me didn't.
I think that one season was needed because, like I said, if they truly, I know it's gonna sound kind of weird, but they really became a family on the set. So without them kind of airing out their differences, of course, the drama behind the scene, but I felt like it was giving you a small peek into, you could tell the family was broken at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it just took time to work through it. I think that season was very significant because it showed that, man, if we don't have Gina or if we don't have Tommy, we can't really continue this thing. So we've got to slowly put it out of its misery. But I don't know. I think that last season was needed because it was a family oriented bond that they had there. You could see there was a fracture there within the family.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic perspective, Wilkes.
Shout out to Mika. Thank you for tuning in. The show can never be duplicated. I agree. And this is one that I said we had to do because it is. We all know Martin. It's not. There's not somebody that says, "Oh, I don't know Martin." It's in the culture. You're in the culture. You know Martin.
Man. Martin.
If you're outside of the culture, maybe you didn't, but that's on you. But
all skin folk ain't kin folk.
Right.
And stop inviting everybody to the damn cookout.
And don't put no raisins in there. In the potatoes out. That's getting thrown in the trash on site. Varnell Hill was my favorite episode or top 3. Did you miss me? Yeah, that was Andy Davidson. And like they said, we needed to see young black love. I think we needed to see that.
Yeah.
But also we needed to see us on a show and just us. The only white guy I can think of that was on there was the guy that was his co-host on the radio show.
Oh yeah.
I can think of him, there was probably more. But
he played the white dude.
But that was it.
Yeah. That was it.
Love too.
Baby Queen says, I don't know. There was still so much life in the show. Unfortunate the outside events caused the fracture.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
See, they're saying I disagreed. The last season, if you ask me, that was the deepest one. It's like you can see the show falling apart that Mark was trying to carry, but you just can't tell it wasn't.
Right.
And let it make it, Keisha. Let it make it, Keisha. I understand there's a lot of typographical errors in that statement. I understand. Just let it make it, please.
Yeah. We can open up the phone lines at some point in time in the show too, because I think I definitely want to hear, they want to call in.
You all right, brother?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So did y'all know that
Oh god. You said shaking.
Yeah, because she was trying to not to go to the phone. She wanted to type it in so bad.
But you called it out. You called it out. Good job.
And since you listen on YouTube, I can see you watching on YouTube. So I need you to hit that like button, share. If you hadn't already subscribe, do something.
Yeah.
All right, everyone?
He can't hold it in.
Oh man.
Hey, and this is funny. That was plenty of episodes of Martin too. Like there was plenty of episodes where it was almost like a Saturday Night Live. Like they just could not hold it in the laugh.
Oh yeah.
I wonder the Dragonfly Jones one when Cole basically jumped up because he was laughing so hard because of all the stuff that Martin was doing. They didn't show that clip though.
Yeah,
that's always the best part of shows, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if y'all remember the Carol Burnett show. They talked about that, and they said that's one of the reasons what that made that show great is because and you could watch it.
Right.
A-Trap, you remember watching that show? And
And
Tim Conway used to crack
Oh.
them. They could not, when Tim Conway was on set, they said they could
It was
not
over.
hold it together with him. And
Harvey
and
Korman too.
they said they just quit trying to hide it at that point because they're like, we can't
Yeah.
do it. We'll
Let
have
it go,
70 takes.
And he was
We'll have 70
stone
takes.
face.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And
You're
he
He
was
right.
was stone face.
And
He
just
was-
watching
I-
the
I-
video.
He just be like, he'd still be in character, and they be turning around and
Yeah.
holding that.
Oh, it was
face.
several times Harvey Korman just did what
Fell out.
A-Trap just did. He was like, and he just let it go, man, because he couldn't hold it.
Yeah. You can't hold that.
So I think
And
that's one of
I
the
I
beauties
experienced
to
that watching the
Right.
reruns, watching the
Yeah.
playbacks. It's just like they can't hold that. Hell, with
Yeah.
Bob Newhart. Bob Newhart would be so straight faced, dry humor, and people were like cracking up. We were like, "Come on, man! Like y'all just ruining the man joke. You can't hold it together." But it was just one of the Tim Conway. Oh yeah, that dude was killing it.
That was that real TV, man.
Yeah, there you
Martin, you know, we always talk about like athletes. Could they play in this time? Martin could have been on TV. As a matter of
Anytime.
fact, Martin might have been
I got
even
you.
a little funnier in the 70s.
Yeah,
If
possibly.
that's possible to say. Martin
no, I
might have
got
been,
you, man.
because they'd have let the
Right.
magic word
did-
would have been thrown around a little
Yeah,
more.
that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there would have been
I
a
think
lot
that's
more screeners.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
the-
that's a very astute
I
statement.
think the Jeffersons was probably that
There
opening
you
door
go.
for Martin.
There you
I
go.
think Jeffersons was Martin.
Which
in that
which is a fantastic tie-in, because think about, did you see the reverence that they showed to Marla Gibbs? You want to talk
Oh,
about a proud
absolutely.
moment for our
Yeah.
people,
That town in the
the
building.
way they received her, man.
Yeah.
Oh
Huge,
my
huge.
God, that is that is a lesson when you want to show young Black people how to respond to your elders. When I say that the way they treated her, man, was so heartwarming, it's not even funny, man.
It
Not
was
even
it
funny.
was
That's
like
how you treat a legend.
Absolutely.
it was like kids sitting at the feet of their grandmother, just
That's
waiting to
right,
hear what she
man.
had to say.
That's
Yeah,
right, man. They were on the edge of they were literally on the edge of their seats the entire time she was in that on that stage.
Yeah,
And she was definitely she was definitely an actor. You could tell that she was playing a kid, which I'm sure it had some references to her characters, but she was a no nonsense character in everything that she played.
Yeah, right.
She ain't taking no back seats, man.
Even to her boss, boss of George Jefferson, she wasn't out taking no shit.
Right. So it's like, Negro, please. Like, she was definitely doing it. She was doing it.
You know what I really liked about Martin? I can consistently complain about this with Black TV. People may disagree, but what I liked about Martin, you saw yourself in. Everybody loved the Cosby Show. Everybody loved the Jeffersons.
But you're on it. I know where you're going. You own it.
But either you are the Cosbys and the Jefferson, or you Fred and James.
Right.
And Martin was right in the middle.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing. That's the only complaint I have about a lot of Black TV shows, and that could be a contributor to the esteem of young people today, because either you're gonna be Bill Cosby, you're gonna be Heathcliff and Claire and George and Weezy, or you're gonna be Fred Lamont or James, and it's like, man, where the middle at, man? Right. Like Kings and Queens, I always reference Kings and Queens. They regular people. She's a legal aid, a UPS driver, and it's funny as hell. And they daddy come through. And Martin was the same thing. Yeah, Gina and Pam were account execs, but we see sisters killing it every day. So that's what we see. Hell, we Martin right now. The Fourcast is Martin right now. So that's what I really like about it, and I really believe that's what's been missing for TV for the vast majority of my 52 years, almost 52 years on Earth.
Yeah, and I'll say this. It was a perfect connection to the culture at that time. They had rappers on that show. For me, that was maybe the first show I seen where they had rappers that I knew, artists that I knew on there, They were wearing Jordans. They were wearing cross colors. They were. It was like a perfect.
I mean, you even
time where
yeah. I mean, you even had it. Yeah, you even had Biggie on there in the midst of the East Coast West Coast beef going on. So I mean, it was definitely cultural impact. It was definitely a big deal. It was very significant.
Yeah, and they're still to this day. Me and one of my best friends, he always got a Martin one-liner. It don't matter. It don't.
Right.
We could be talking about anything, and it'll just come up because it was that relevant to the culture, past, present, and future. Because now the next generation is watching it like, wow, this is funny. It was like you can't even imagine when we were watching it in time, watching a weekly episode, and then when you got in trouble and you got to go to bed early, or when you couldn't watch Martin, like that was torture. That was real punishment. That was worse than a whooping at that point.
Right.
Not being able to watch that.
I can't watch Martin. I
I
can't
was
watch
a grown ass
it.
man, dog. I was
Yeah,
standing.
that was grown, so y'all all right. Y'all all right.
Yeah.
Martin was truly relatable, even today. Yeah, facts.
Oh, absolutely.
Martin put a lot of folks in the game too.
Yeah, that was a big surprise and piece of this for me, man.
Yeah.
Because I have to say, I didn't know Tracy Morgan before this show. Never didn't know Tracy Morgan. I mean,
now he's leaning into the shit. Now what he doing right
now? He's just gonna go with it.
He's leaning into the fast. Hey, he's leaning into the crowding the plate right now. You feel?
Like we used to say when the pitcher warming up, what 2 down, balls in, 2 down, balls.
Yeah, man.
Y'all in. Chef Fine is one. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to his channel. Doing a great job.
They killed it yesterday.
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch it, but definitely subscribe. Hit that notification bell for him. So, did y'all know that Carl, Tisha, and Tichina knew each other at 12, and they were going to different actors? I did not know that.
Not Cockroach, because he always he ain't cold to me. He gonna die cockroach.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's always. He's more cold than Cockroach to me.
Yeah, he's more cold than Cockroach, but I just like him as Cockroach.
He gonna always be Cockroach to me, man.
Yeah, I had the idea that they knew each other at such an early age, and as soon as I heard that, I said, "Oh, that's where your chemistry is coming from," because they had that connection, and it translated, And Martin didn't even know that Pam and Gina, or Tisha and Sheena were roommates, and when he first got on, and so he hired Gina first, right? And Pam is like telling her, "Don't tell him we were roommates and stuff. I want to get it on my own. I want to get the job on my own." Right. And when he walked into the apartment one day, he saw, "Yep, y'all don't know each other, yep." And he's like, dog, so yeah, I think that went along with contributing to the chemistry of the show.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Even though I'm about to say it and ruin it, you know what I really appreciate about this show, man? We always complain that as in our private conversation, we complain that, hey man, he talking too much. Look, lead his stuff behind closed doors. I like the fact that they didn't mention that at one point, Carl Anthony Payne and Martin was at each other. I'm talking about it got real ugly.
Yeah, they didn't really mention. They didn't mention it at all. Actually,
and I was glad they didn't.
Yeah,
I was glad they didn't. But I'm glad it was dope because it looked like they, mended. Maybe the loss of Tommy fixed it because when somebody transitions, you start realizing like, hey man,
it's kind of petty. Yeah.
This is really petty right here. Yeah. And my favorite thing about this is everybody's doing well. It ain't the traditional sitcom where one of them smoked crack, one of them went to jail. Everybody doing well, man. That's what I really appreciated as well.
Yeah. And they all had good things to say about each other, about what they're currently doing, and so it wasn't messy either. Because if it was going to be one of them reality type things, I probably would have turned it off. Favorite episode? Oh, go ahead. Then we can answer that.
No, I was going to say before we get too far away from the opening and whatnot, I was skeptical when Affion Crockett, when I saw that he was going to be the host. But I gotta say, dude did a fantastic job,
He did,
man.
yeah.
He didn't try to become the show. He asked the right questions. He, stayed quiet when he needed to stay quiet. He commented when he needed to comment. He did a fantastic job, man. The only thing I don't like about him is that suit. Hell.
But yeah, he allowed them to tell the story. He didn't try to over.
He didn't Steve Harvey.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Go ahead, say it. Go ahead, say it. You was thinking
there
it.
You go.
You trying to keep it clean.
There you go. Yeah.
Because no, that's a different conversation.
Yeah. So favorite episode of Martin. A-Trap, we'll go to you.
I don't have one, man. Dude, you talking about?
Oh gosh.
You got a better chance of picking out an episode you didn't like.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't have a favorite episode. I mean, dude, when you see the reruns, you be like, how many times I used to watch this show faithfully because it was this show and New York Undercover. And I thought I watched them all until one day recently I was watching something and it was on. I'm like, man, what was this? And it was funny. It was funny like I had just seen it that day, and it was funny like it had aired Thursday. So I don't have a favorite one, man. I mean, this was insane, man. Yeah. Somebody said this might be the greatest sitcom ever, and since they said this, I was sitting there going,
"Oh, somebody else did it."
And then they even kind of met on there to say that you got to consider this, and they were kind of hesitant as to how they said it, but they were basically saying, if you're really looking at it, you have to consider this as one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. And I don't think that's a stretch by any. I don't think that's a stretch at all. No. Now, for me, in terms of my favorite episode, it is because the one that I could not see straight is the Thomas Hitman Hearns episode. When he got out of him knots, when that fool got out of him knots all over his head. And that's the one. And maybe because of the fact that I saw my mom time laugh at that show, and she laughed so hard she couldn't talk. She couldn't talk. She couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
So I think I'd have to give that one my favorite show.
I had to go with the Dragonfly Jones episode when he was getting whooped in Gina's apartment. He was crawling all around on the floor, and seeing Carl jumping up and down, like you could not hold that in. I don't care who you was.
Right.
I would say that's my favorite episode. Well,
oh man, gosh, I don't know. My favorite episode has to be probably when they went to California. He met that Michael Jackson impersonator, and they were Michael Jackson was like kicking him and punching him, and they were kind of fighting in the end. And he was like, "Oh, he hit me," and he's like, "Oh, Tito," and he like punched him, and then like he went down. And I mean, it's just so many.
That's what I said. It's too many of them, man. I mean,
especially when the Living Color cast was, oh my gosh, man.
David Allen Greer. Yeah,
man. David Allen Greer is the pastor when he's on there. Like, oh my gosh, it's just too many.
My eyes have seen.
Hey man, David Allen Greer played the trifling brother better than anybody in the history of trifling brothers.
It's just too many.
Fake dog. You're right, man.
The story behind it. They wanted a real dog, and they got a fake Rottweiler from Great America from Six Flags, basically.
It's just too many, man.
And
they all scrape the surface, like.
And see, to talk about the genius part of Martin in that episode, they said, that he was talking about, okay, if you're gonna give me a fake dog, is it gonna be weighted, to where if it'll sit and stuff like that. And they were like, and they said, so when he made it sit and it fell over and him just said, lay down, or whatever, just real quick. And they said he did that so smooth, like, God, dog, this joker,
It's that quick rapid.
But for Keisha to say, Keisha talked about Varnell Hill, Hollywood Swinging with Varnell Hill, which is Tommy Davidson. And when I say, until I saw him on this show, I had no idea how underrated that cat really is. Tommy
gosh.
Davidson is underrated, man.
Yeah.
That dude, man, you think about what he did on in Living Color and on this and on some of the other movies and stuff he done played. That cat, man, is underrated, dude. And you give me somebody who's got a better impersonation. What's his name? Part of the Rat Pack.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy Davis Jr. You let me tell me somebody who's got a better impression than him. You know that dude.
And people sleep on his stand-up. I actually seen one of his stand-up. I don't know if it was with the Shaq when Shaq used to do that, or I think he had his own, and we died laughing. The dude is genuinely funny. And I think that again talks about the show. Yeah, Reverend Lonnie Love. Leon Lonnie Love, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I agree with this comment too, by Mika. And yeah, they were all hungry at that point. And they talked about what they bought when they got their first check, which was they all bought a car. Mm-hmm. Martin was already pulling up in different whips on a motorcycle.
Right, yeah. Was Def Jam? Well, he had House Party. But was Def
after
Jam?
Def Jam. It was after Def Jam. He stopped doing Def Jam to do this.
Okay, that's right. I couldn't remember if it was at the same time.
And see, and another piece that was great about it is Cole even gave him props because he was like, Cole brought him down and said, hey, let me holler at you. Took him down this car, and Cole just said, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, right, and Martin, instead of eating that up, he said, all right, man, cool. He goes, now go get you a house and go invest your money. He immediately started mentoring him, talking about, that's fantastic, but don't, still go get your stuff together and do this and do that,
Don't lose sight, So the opening, people were saying they thought it was Kid Capri. I didn't know who it was, but it was.
I never knew who it was. Kid Capri. I never did know.
Mm-hmm. It was actually Cole, which I didn't know.
Well, Pam and Gina didn't know either.
Yeah, they were surprised. Yeah,
they were like, what?
And they didn't know.
Yeah.
30 years and they didn't know. Let's see. The show is still great. Still watching the reruns. Yeah, and it's on HBO Max. It's on BET every night. I don't know. I think they run it probably overnight.
All the seasons are on HBO Max, but they still show it on BET reruns.
Yeah. Why you throw
what was that?
Tommy sucked in the movie Woo.
What was that movie Tommy was the bad guy in? Was it? Oh God,
he was a bad guy in the movie.
He was a bad guy in the movie. It was when Kid Play, but it wasn't House Party.
It was Class Act.
Class Acts. Yeah, he was the bad guy.
I think Rick Mahorn was in that.
No.
Wow. Rick
Mahorn. What's that dude's name? You look like Rick Mahorn, real.
No, that's
man.
That ain't Rick Mahorn.
Hey, I thought that was Rick Mahorn the whole time.
No, man.
Rick Mahorn. I needed that one. Thank you.
I don't know his name, but it ain't Rick Mahorn. He don't even look like him.
Wow.
You talking about when Blade Brown was in the movie, right? That's the movie you talking about?
Yeah.
That
was the one where he's talking about what was it? Reading is fundamental.
Rick Mahorn.
Oh gosh, I love it.
Okay,
I'm good.
Nah, we needed that.
Thank you, Alfred.
Who's this? Baby Queen Boys to Men was Fresh Prince. Martin was Jodeci. Okay.
Yeah,
I can do that comparison.
Which I didn't know they didn't expect him to come out and do that either. When he mentioned
when he came out with his belt unbuckled and
they said they wouldn't expect him to do that.
Yeah,
that's what
was
makes
improv.
it great. That's that improv. And I'm sure they had to always, if they were coming on the show, they probably had to look over their shoulder because they didn't know what was gonna happen. Even the cast didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah, but even Gina said when he would do Sinead, she would just do things on purpose to just kind of get him riled up,
real close to him.
Yeah. What'd she say? Step back. Get out of my space. Something like that. And I like what Affion Crockett said. You thought that was you didn't think that was Martin. You thought that was an actual person named Shanae.
Right. Because the characters, he was so involved.
He did the character,
Wow. I'm not gonna go that far. He did great. But
you knew it was a man. You didn't know.
I saw Flip Wilson, so I knew it wasn't Martin.
It was believable.
Geraldine.
Yeah. Big Shirley. That was kind of an homage to Shirley Hemphill. I didn't know that. I don't know.
That was dope. Because I do remember the reboot of What's Happening, because it was called What's Happening Now.
Yeah.
It was a bad guy in Harlem.
Yeah, when he mentioned that, I was like, man, it's gotta be What's Happening Now, maybe, but I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might be the only one watching this that probably got BET Plus, but enjoy. Hey, send me the password. Wow. Talk about Zion Daddy.
Yeah. That's a homeboy dude look like Zion Wilson.
Homework assignment. Somebody look up that dude name real quick.
I'll look him up.
But I didn't know Tichina was
I'm doing a show right now.
I didn't know she was part-time in the first 2 seasons. I don't know if
I never noticed that either.
Oh, yeah, because they did mention why she wasn't always on the I guess like she didn't have a role at certain times. So she wasn't always
the reading meeting.
Yeah, she was talking about when they passed out the scripts and she didn't get one. That shit would be hard.
Yeah.
But she put in work though, man. She put in work, and despite not getting what they said, she was the angry cast member.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and before we go too much further,
his name is Ernest Johnson.
Let me just say this. So Tisha Campbell came out there in what they call a cat suit. And when I saw it, I said, shit, that ain't no cat suit. That's a pussy cat suit.
Literally. No pun intended.
When they said we about to get up and go somewhere, she was like, oh, these dogs. He had to get up and walk around. It was like,
I was like, whoa.
What about them flats for after church or something? Because I know her feet was hurt.
Yeah. I was like, okay. She said, you got to stop, man. You got to hit the brakes.
You know your brother. You know your brother, don't you?
Going all in.
You ain't got the right kid, you know.
This dude here, man.
She couldn't walk. That's what I'm saying. She
was walking like her feet was barking.
Well, she kept saying, but then she said something about her knee was hurt, but we know that was about her toes. They probably all the toes was probably on top of each other like that.
Probably.
Which toes you talking about, Wilkes?
Oh, we ain't talking about the knuckle. I'm just talking about the actual toes. We ain't talking about the camel toe. I'm just,
See,
talking about the moose grip.
All I gotta do, let me just say this, all I gotta do is just toss the ball up to Wilkes like this, and he's gonna crush the hell out of it. He gonna wait on the bench, and he gonna send it deep.
That was a watermelon that you threw up. Hey, I thought Tichina looked good, man.
I kind of agree with Teddy.
Agree with Teddy?
Oh yeah, about that cat suit.
Yeah, it was. I was like, "What is happening?"
She was like a fat guy and a little coat to me.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I've never really thought she was that attractive. To be perfectly honest with you, I just never did. She's not ugly by any stretch of the imagination, but she wasn't like. I ain't never just said, "Damn, she fine." I ain't never thought that.
Right.
No offense.
Respectfully,
I offend ass or not. You should have worn an overcoat with that shit.
Yeah.
I have to say the first. I was like, "Wow, what is she wearing?" But
I was like,
she was the only one. She seemed like she was reaching on that one. Everybody else seemed comfortable. She was. She had to hold it in.
That's why when A says, what I like about it is nobody's really on bad times, so to speak, like some other sitcoms, right?
Right.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I thought, especially looking at some other images of her. I think the situation with her and her ex-husband, Dwayne Martin, I think that took a toll. When I say she aged the most out of all of them, as far as
she has an illness that blew her up. The medication blew her up on that show with Damon Wayans.
Oh, My Wife and Kids.
Shit, I'm not
She has an illness, and it blew her up. And she's actually about 55, 60 pounds smaller than she was. So actually,
shit, I got illness too. Shit, I'm addicted to honey buns. But what the fuck that?
No, she got a real illness.
A real illness.
Actually, she looks way better than she looked when that thing set in on her.
Yeah, and I'm really not talking about her weight. I was talking about how it aged her face. There's some images that you can go see, and I'm like, man, you can tell she's aged, and maybe that's connected to the illness just as well. But I got a feeling that situation with her and old dude.
Yeah, that marriage probably. I mean, marriage take a toll on you too, and she I think she had multiple kids, with him too. So. She just said same doc on some episodes. Arnold was looking way better than Tisha. He was really who Country Craig? Is this from
no, that ain't got nothing to do with that. Ain't none of my folks.
You sure?
Yeah, shit. Yeah.
He said, y'all need to get y'all life together, and y'all phony and jealous. Y'all see a therapist. Y'all acting about nothing. You watching though. You watching though. So we appreciate her weight.
You know what? You know how Keisha's hand was shaking earlier? My hand shaking right now. I want to let dude have it. I really do, but I'm gonna let him make it.
Shout out to Al High, man. Thank you for tuning in. What's up, fellas? Hope y'all doing well. We doing well. Hopefully you doing well, man.
In fact, with Al on here, I actually have that directly to do with Al High, because at the beginning of the show, Affion Crockett asked Martin about the pressure that he was under, for the show to be a success and whatnot. And so Martin says, yeah, there was pressure. He goes, but you feel the pressure, but you don't pay attention to the pressure. So when he said that, I immediately thought, disrespect your senses. And Al High, you feel the pressure, but you don't pay attention to it. Your senses gonna tell you this shit is rough, this shit is hard, but you disrespect your senses. And I thought that's what Martin was basically illustrating.
She has pulmonary sarcoidosis.
And if we do want to talk about
put this Negro comment on the screen real quick. Please.
Yeah, we did already, but go ahead, put it back again if you want to.
Put this Negro screen. Put this back on the screen.
Does anybody know who this is? First of all,
I don't,
because I don't know who it is.
It must be somebody new that just came across the show.
Get out
but
of here.
that's why you don't address ignorance, because for him to call us phony, you ain't gonna get no more genuine dudes in your life.
Right, exactly. You don't even know nothing about us.
We lighten them up.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, now look, this hey, baby, this I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about other people marriage and the toll it take on people.
Hey, Erica, I know. Baby, I know. I know.
Let's see. Keisha said Wilkes got
Not even close.
When did that become a thing? That term, I ain't heard it.
Because it's the model thing now to wear that shit to the pool and everything, walk around in them motherfuckers. Like, what's happening?
And we shouldn't have got mad at dude. Invite him back next week.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you don't
not like button.
Like, you don't know us. You don't yeah, you don't know us, so stick around and get to know us. I ain't tripping, you know.
Yeah.
You don't know us, you know.
He is. He definitely is. All right. I don't know about y'all, but this made me want to go watch House Party. I felt like there was so many parallels that came out in this. Like the You Go Girl, that was a reference to AJ Johnson in House Party, which I don't remember him. I don't remember him saying that, but
I'd have to rewatch it. I mean, unless it was just real quick. But yeah, like, you know, to me, when I first heard that Martin, you know, growing up, when I heard Martin was getting his own show, to me, I felt like it was a continuation of House Party. But of course, you know, the names were different and things like that. But I just felt like they kind of used it as a catalyst. Like they just rolled into that. Like it was a step up from like, okay, well, we had something kind of going on House Party. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, man.
And that was TV too. I mean,
but at that time, man, Martin was hotter than fish grease. Def Jam was the hottest thing in the world. He had just did the movie with Bobby Brown and Lynn Whitfield. Martin was the hottest thing out, man. And then he had did that. I forgot when he had. I forgot the name of the joint.
That was a thin line between love and hate, wasn't it?
Yeah. And yep. And then the movie, he was talking about the girl is crazy, deranged.
Right, that's right.
It wasn't a dude hotter than Martin in the world. At this time, this might be the one time in history that Martin might have been hotter than Eddie Murphy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You still watching?
Yep.
That's good. Keep watching. That's cool. Keep on watching. Keep on watching.
This question right here, there is a connection. I think, isn't Martin and Play cousins? I thought I seen
No, Kid. Oh yeah, Play and Martin are cousins. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Kid is the light skin, right?
Yeah.
Kid is the light skin.
Martin and Play are cousins.
Was Dragon Breath?
Yeah. Dragon Breath. Yeah. The funniest part when he was pulling up in that Chevelle, scraping all this stuff up and trying to, he was like, "I'm gonna be right back. We'll pick you up, but let me take the ladies over there first." He said, "Poor y'all, man. That was a classic scene from picture some of that dick girl."
That used to be, man. You always needed to carry work.
Yeah. But yeah, that this made me want to go see House Party immediately after because I think there was so many connections to it.
And people forget Martin was in Do the Right Thing too.
Yeah.
I have to say I forgot that.
Hey, hold that energy, CJ. You gotta fight. You gotta fight tomorrow.
Yeah, let it make it, baby. Let it make it.
Hold that energy, man. We need to get this. We need to get this knockout. The amount. Who is it? Yeah, that YouTube beef.
I love it.
Well, we thank you. Keep watching.
That's cool, man.
Got those every day of the week.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
The one-liners in Martin, obviously there's so many, but I think that's in people's everyday terminology.
Right.
Like, it's
oh man. Yeah, you've got quotes. I mean, Martin had many quotables and oh gosh, man, everything. I mean, only thing I can remember is Martin was like every time a season ended, it was always either a to be continued or it left you hanging because it was like, man, you were waiting for Martin to come back on because they left you hanging. They left you hanging when he went to the monastery. They left you hanging when they went to L.A. Man, it was just so many different moments where it was just like, man, this show is just comedic. It's perfect. It's just. Were there any other? I don't really remember. Maybe you guys can help me out besides Tommy Davidson and David Allen. But were there other comedians on here? I don't really reckon. I didn't know if there were other.
Homeboy. You got Tracy Morgan. You got Homeboy, who was the garbage record producer. He a comedian.
Okay.
A bunch of comedians on there. Bruh Man is a comedian. There's There's a bunch of comedians on here.
Who really legitimately couldn't get through that window. That wasn't no act. If y'all couldn't tell.
Yeah. No,
that wasn't no act.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too.
Oh,
man.
no.
That didn't look like there was no act.
Yeah, no. He looked like
he wasn't getting through that window.
Hey, if we want to talk about gaining weight, Martin was struggling in the last Bad Boy. I don't know if he can do another Bad Boy. Yeah, Sam Morrison. Yep, he was on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was on SNL. That's right.
Yep. Garrett Morrison. How could I forget? He was Boney James on Hunter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Hunter. Woo!
Good point. I wish both of them were on there. Stan and Sean would have had some type of, at least Stan. I don't know. Sean was a minor cast member, I'll say. But Stan though, and I know he's still acting now. I know he did.
He's got something out right now.
I don't know what he's in right now, but he's probably in something. Don't nobody come to see you, Craig. So let's
don't start tripping, Craig. What Smoking said, don't start tripping, Craig.
Yeah. Don't trip.
So let's open up the phone lines as we continue to talk. They talked about the Brian McKnight episode, which that was like real tears and Tichina, like, you wasn't really crying, was you? I mean, that was real legit tears.
Yeah.
That was that relatable. That was that relatable couple that
this was the place to be, Mark, man. I mean,
yeah, it was
you see, Brian McKnight pretty much thanked him for his career.
Right.
Blew up.
He said that album wasn't selling more than 1 million copies.
Certainly
he
did.
said 200,000.
Right. He said it wasn't selling any more than it wasn't even close to 1 million copies.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, it was 200,000.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor was on the episode?
I must have missed that. I don't remember. I'd have to read. Man, I've seen so much Martin. You're gonna remember. You're gonna forget.
Like I said, man, that's why it's too hard to say, "Hey, this is my favorite episode."
Yeah. And see, like Myra, I didn't know Myra was the lady at the DMV, but then end up being the lady at the nail shop.
At the nail shop, and
girlfriend.
And she was
Stan's girlfriend. That's right. That's right.
Girlfriend. She was Craig the landlord. She
I couldn't tell that. Lady. Yeah, I couldn't tell that was Nipsey.
Myra is also the lady that James Evans called a skank. She was Sweet Daddy girlfriend.
That's right.
She was in the game.
Savannah Jones.
Yeah.
That didn't look like Nipsey. I was like, I mean, that's a saying.
Speaking of James, so that's another nod and homage that Martin gave on the show when I can't remember who died, but he goes, damn, just like James, just like Florida did.
His mom. That was his mom. That was him doing that as his mom, right? I think.
Yeah.
When the bird died. Not my mama's biscuits.
Not my mama's biscuits. Yes. Them ragged ass peas.
Yeah. I ate everything except the regular peas. The way Bro Man came in too and did it in that voice, I thought that was dope.
Right. I mean, even like I said in the monastery where he was a monk and he had like the half afro, I still say the dog that jumps in the water loses the bone that's in his mouth. I still say that because it was just Martin saying something crazy. And it was like, where did you even get that from? It's like he's just being Martin, man, just being silly, man. It's so many quotables in the show, man. Is he on the radio station?
All right, we got a caller on the line.
Is Craig on the phone? It better be Craig on the phone.
Nah, it ain't Craig.
That kind of guy don't have the guts to call.
Thank you for calling in. What's your name? What you want to talk about?
Hi, everybody. It's the Fifth Beatle.
What's going on with that Janet Jackson voice?
How are y'all?
Doing well.
Good. I honestly called. I had a point, but I completely forgot what it was when I saw.
All right, we'll let you go then.
Where they saw Richard Pryor. Where they saw Richard Pryor. All right, but I have. I don't want nobody to hang up on me, so that's what I was going to say. But goodbye.
You got that?
I did. When I saw the last comment about Richard Pryor, that was what I was going to talk about. But
Well, while you're on, Keisha, let me ask you and Ben something. Do y'all remember when Tommy Ford came to the church?
I don't.
Yes.
Yep.
You remember, Keisha?
I was on Sunday.
Tommy Ford came to it was on a Sunday, and it was in the old building. We hadn't moved to the new church yet, and pastor even asked him during the situation, how pastor used to walk around messing with folks or whatever. So when he knew he was there, he asked him, he goes, "Man, do you have a job?" So he even asked him during that service.
Do you have a job?
Yeah, he was in the bathroom.
I do remember now.
Because he was in town. He was in town for a play he was in.
Oh, yeah, he was. That's right. I forgot he did do some plays. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody came from the back to have him to preach, and he was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." And that's when he left him alone. So yeah, I remember that.
And that's a perfect segue.
And if it wasn't Doc for just mentioning that, I remember Tommy Ford being featured in some plays that were coming through Dallas. And you think about that, I was like, man, I forgot he did those.
Where did Tommy pass from?
Oh, I don't know.
He had a blood clot that came from his knee surgery.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
That turned into, I guess, I think it was like an aneurysm.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's been a while, right? Like 2013, 14?
It's been a minute.
16, I thought I saw too.
Oh, was it 16?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me see. It was 16 in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think it was 2016. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow. Well, I don't want to congest your line so someone else can get through. Perhaps Craig may want to call. So y'all have a nice evening, and God bless you.
All right.
Hey, Keisha, before you go, you got anything special you want to say? Did she hang up?
Yeah, she hung up. You know how it is. She hung up on purpose.
You was gonna sneak that in regardless. You know that.
I knew it was black ass.
R.I.P. Tommy. It was great. Yeah, so that's perfect segue. I think that memorial I think was great because Tommy was such a iconic character on the show. It wasn't as if he was just the extra. Tommy added a lot of value to the show and everything. Keisha calling back. She must remember what she.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
I'm so sorry. You're right. I did have one more thing I wanted to say. Doc, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah.
No problem.
You're the best one on this podcast. I just want to let you know.
I'm sorry.
That's what you get for asking for a dog. That's what you get. That's right.
That's all I want.
Wow.
Ben, hang up on the ass right now.
No, don't hang up. Let her talk.
Hang up on the ass, Ben.
That's what you get. That's what you
block too. Block ass.
Yeah. That's what your black ass get.
Oh, man.
All right, get to the touching tribute, man.
No. Let's talk about that H-Rap part again.
But
that's what you get.
I thought that was
my boy.
I thought that was needed because obviously, like I said in the opening.
Oh, y'all talking about the show.
We're not gonna get a Martin reboot without Tommy. You can't do it.
No,
I think to add that in there, I think it was well needed, and it was a perfect touch.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I don't want to know. I wouldn't care if they brought Tommy back. I think that reboot thing, I ain't seen it work yet, man. It just be super whack. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
What's happening now? You do it now, man. These ain't songs, man. We don't need nobody to remake these joints. Remember they tried to do the remake of All in the Family and had James Evans playing Archie? No, man.
Oh no.
Horrible. It was straight morning breath, Jack.
No. It can't work like that.
Well, there's one reboot. There's one reboot that was good, and that's Big Blacks, Big Racks. So part 2 was actually better than part 1. Thank you, Wilkes. You know I do the show for you, Wilkes. It's all for you, Wilkes.
I'm through with you, Jack. I'm through with you, Jack.
Volume 3, baby. Volume 3.
I'm through with you, Jack.
Man.
I am done with you.
Leo's Adult Theater, baby, on 35 and 183.
Wow, he is going there.
He's a long. Now, to Theodore's point, yeah, Roseanne is the only one that probably lasts beyond the season. And I think that reboot.
That's only because ABC stepped in and said, "Nah."
Oh, she blew that. Roseanne killed that with the racist comments.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But then ABC was like, "Nah." Nope.
The show's still going on without her.
Yeah.
Can't that, can you? Check it out. So on the Tommy tribute, let's talk about that a little bit. So one of the things that I really liked, and this is a good time to bring this point up as it compares to the Fourcast, right? So his wife acknowledged when she was speaking that he was acutely aware of the healing nature of laughter, right? And so what I wrote down, I said, you have to show an appreciation for the sacrifice these dudes make to be the butt of my joke. So when I was talking about the Fourcast, I'm like, think about how often I pick on y'all, or I pick on the queens on Queen 3 and King. And it's like, it's because this is bigger than us at the end of the day, right? You know, it's not about us. It's really because we are trying to get that medicine out there. You know what I'm saying? In terms of that laughter. And so to find out that Tommy really understood that, and the fact that he led the cast in prayer before each taping was just mind-blowing. And I said, how many shows do you think are doing that today, where you got somebody leading the cast in prayer before the show, you know?
No. And actually, before the show even, I want to say when they had the best of Martin moment, I think maybe that was mentioned, how he would, pray with the cast before, they did a segment or went on the air. So that's big. That's definitely big.
CJ,
hey, correction. I didn't watch it, but I heard that French reboot was dope, and they actually got
it is. That's right.
A Martin reboot on the same level. That's not funny. It's dramatic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. So I guess you're right, A-Track. We could consider that a reboot, but let me put it like this. The reimagining of the characters, like Jeffrey, after I watched a few episodes of that, I went on Facebook and said, shit, I want to be Jeffrey. Not Uncle Phil. Jeffrey's so cold.
I still haven't watched it yet.
Oh, trust me, Wilkes, it's worth your time, man.
It is worth it. Check it out.
It's on Peacock, right?
So I'll check it out.
See, I can't watch TV with commercials no more.
Shit.
Come on,
the chick they got, that they got playing. I hope she old enough. I hope she old enough now. But the chick they got, I think Jones, whatever her name, that chick got her playing Hillary, and they made Hillary a dark skinned chick on this too. And I'm like, ew, need a little of that chocolate on my ice cream.
Stir it up.
Shit.
And on that note, I'm out.
And I'll bring my own notes.
Hey, hanging, swanging. Let my nuts go. Let my nuts go. Man.
But okay, so Lily put a comment up. Lily put a comment up there that when I say that's what I put on there, I put Leandria Johnson singing. Oh my God. Yeah. And when I say as a result, Sunday morning, when I say me in my house by myself, praising and worshiping off of her stuff, when I say that girl brought the house down.
Oh man.
Look at her. You are not lying about that, bro. Oh my God.
She coming with the conviction.
Yeah. She ushered me to Jesus' feet Sunday morning by herself.
Is there?
But that was, I think that was perfect. I think now
Yeah.
always.
You know me.
Hey man, was it me or did Tommy's son seem to have a problem? He not looking too happy.
He might be nervous.
I just don't think they knew exactly how to react. I thought the same about him and the daughter. I thought they were a little. Their reactions were a little.
Yeah, the daughter seemed cool. The son
Daughter,
seemed like he was upset about
the
something.
daughter was in tears. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously this was for. It was somewhat for a show, and maybe his son was just like, I'm not all. I mean, he's been gone for a while.
Let me go to this. And Mika, let me just say this. Lily, as a result, I think that's probably where the power in her ministry, her music comes from, right? Because it's real. You know, so oftentimes you get artists, gospel artists that you now the word phony comes in, okay, that are doing just the gospel thing. Right. You know, they're following the gospel guidelines, and they wouldn't dare out their demons. Right. So for her to be so upfront and honest with it, that means her spirit is a virgin spirit. And when that virgin spirit starts to minister, the purity that you get from it can't be matched.
Yeah.
Can't be matched.
Absolutely. When you feel every bit of that. Yeah. When your testimony becomes literally a roadmap, when your testimony becomes transparent, no one can speak on that testimony but yourself. No one can measure it.
Man. Right. That's
no
it.
One can weigh it.
You disarm the enemy when you do that, man.
Yeah. No one can box it up, and no one can put it in a category. Your testimony is your testimony. Right. It is yours. It is woven into your very existence. It is something that you walk with, you sleep with, you carry it, you eat, sleep, and breathe it. That testimony cannot be traded for small things in life, because your testimony is from where you come from, where you're going, what you're trying to gain, and what you're getting. Because God is still working in your favor, whether you see it or not.
Yeah.
And it's like this was a song that she recorded for this show how many months ago, and it still translates as if you're standing right in front of her. Anytime somebody's ministry can translate that like that and put you in the moment and make you, man, when I such power, man, it's not even funny.
Absolutely.
You recorded that for the show. That wasn't one of her songs. I thought that was one of her songs.
No, that's one of her songs, but I mean that episode, the show taping, right, of her singing on stage and stuff like that, you know. But for it to transcend time and space,
right. And I think that's what testimonies are. I think they transcend time and space. I think they're bigger than us. It's almost like a star in the universe. Your testimony is going to shine, and no matter how big or how far you think you are from God's grace, that testimony is still going to radiate. It's still going to be bright. It's still going to be, like I said, a roadmap. It's still going to be something leading you back into God's hand. Like he said, once you're in my hands, no one can pluck you out of my hands. Yeah. It's like he told the devil when he went to get Job. He's like, you can have his material things, but you can't have his soul.
Yeah.
His soul is mine.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where your testimony is just, it's inevitable. It's great. It's going to always be tied to you.
Yeah, don't run from your struggle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no,
disarm it. Expose it.
I went to this hip hop concert. I mean, they were Christian artists, but they rap. I'm not gonna say Christian hip hop because that's a oxymoron. But the stuff they were talking about was their real testimony. This guy did a song. We was basically saying a prayer, but he was like, "I'm praying for all my baby mamas." Like, what artists you know would
you know how strong that statement is?
Yeah.
That's
let me tell you something.
Man, that's funny.
That's almost saying pretty much what God is saying. Pray for thy enemies.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
I will literally take your own enemies, those that hate you, those
Hey,
that
look
have
here.
fiery darts.
Listen
I
to me,
will
Wilkes. The moment that cat uttered that statement, everything that he's ever wanted in life, everything that he's ever struggled with in life, every issues he's had, at that moment he was delivered from, because he made that statement, because he made it about somebody besides himself.
And that
the
was
word of God says, whatever you loosen on earth will be loosened in heaven.
That was the realest concert
I
ever went to. That was the realest concert.
I wish you nothing. Yeah, I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you nothing but God's grace and blessings. I wish you nothing but his abundanceness. Who am I to stand in the way of God's blessing? Because then I block my blessing. I don't want to block my blessing.
That's right. That's right.
So how can I pour into you? It's just like with just like God and the Son of Man, Jesus. Every time you heard Jesus pray, he was pouring into the Father, and the Father was pouring into him. Every time he spoke and he felt tired, God was pouring into his Son, and Jesus was still pouring into his disciples and the people around him. They never stopped pouring into one another. They were always filling each other's cup. Just like we say we fill each other's love tank, God was always filling his Son, because his Son was filling the earth. The earth is filled with his love and of his speech. It's not going anywhere.
He who refreshes others will also be refreshed.
Right.
As simple as that.
It never stops. It's a continuous cycle.
Theodore, you're right. Your testimony is real, and just like what we're saying, it's yours. It's not. Right. It's not. And that's why I preach about all these artists. Real quick, this dude, the guy that did the prayer, his name was Sean Love. Look him up. Sean Love with 2 E's. There was another artist there. His name was Soloso. His music was so. I had to come up to him and say, "Bro, the way you connect with the crowd, because he was in the streets, came out of the streets, was just talking about how, we say these prayers for these moms and stuff when these people being gunned down, but we don't really think about how it affects the kids. We don't think about how it affects people." What you laughing at?
Oh gosh, Keisha.
But man, your testimony is yours, man.
That's right. So don't give somebody else power to tell your story. You tell it. And the vulnerability, there's power in vulnerability. So when you open up like that, again, it disarms the enemy, but there's so much power. You become empowered yourself when you put that out there. You become somebody completely different when you put that out there. This is my struggle. This is my vulnerability.
Right.
This is what it is. Then
because
what can anybody do?
The bigger thing is we all have a struggle. So the people that are hiding their struggles and acting like it's not there, it's there. You got a struggle. Some people are just willing to say what it is that will in turn help somebody.
Kind of like Ben, like Ben was saying. I mean, Jesus is no fool by any stretch. God is no fool by. He knows that you are literally wrapped in flesh, a weakness that he knows that happened in the fall of the garden. He's not stupid. He knows.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't see it.
He knows. I'm gonna tell you, like old pastor used to tell us, don't fool yourself.
Man, come on now.
Don't fool.
Hey, come on now. Don't let the smooth taste.
And that's why, and check this out. That's why ministries, churches and religions who shy away or try to keep people away that they think are sinners, right? They try to keep the prostitutes away. And the dude smell like weed, he can't come into our church, or she's dressed like this, they can't come into our church. Well, I'm telling you right now, you're blocking power from entering into your space. Those virgin spirits, I'm telling you, man, when you bring them in, that's where the power that they have, if they release their testimony, look here, man.
CJ.
Hello, the lady in the story's book. Hello.
What's going on? CJ?
CJ.
Charge of prayer right quick, or do I gotta keep it like PG? Because y'all got real godly. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden.
No, you missed what Dog just said. He was in the midst of weed smoking and sinners.
Talking about some phony. boy, you sound like you from Red Oak, lame man, talking about, boy, I ain't mad at that, dude, but I'm gonna keep it like that because I really had like a list of jobs, but I ain't gonna say them all because y'all got like, all real, like, you know, spiritual, you know, like and whatnot. But I wanted to say, like, on some real talk, you know, like when it came to Martin, I was gonna circle back to what H-Rap was talking about as far as, you know, like what Martin meant to me. Like Martin was the perfect show that, like, cause let's keep the trail, like, nigga, like my uncle ain't no boss ass lawyer that live in fucking like California or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My mom ain't a doctor, or
Right.
no, my mom ain't like a lawyer, and my dad ain't a doctor like obvious. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I wasn't poor as hell like off good times and shit, cause them niggas were struggling. Like, god damn, like they were broke as hell. But you know, like, you know, I wasn't living like that. But Martin was like right in between. It's like the middleman, you know, and you know that's kind of like what Martin meant to me, you know. And like you said, H-Rap, like Martin was like, you know, like we seen ourselves in Martin, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Martin wasn't like doing too much out here. You know, he was like, yo, average common too. Like, you know,
and he even lost the job.
Huh?
I said he even lost his job at the radio station. Remember?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. You know, and that's like some real stuff. Cause like, because I felt like with like the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, even though I liked it, it just wasn't relatable. Cause like, not a lot of brothers can just go, you know what I'm saying, to stay with their rich ass aunties and uncles. Like, you know what I'm saying. And like I was saying, you know, it's just a lot more realistic, and that's what I appreciated about Martin. And I mean, yeah, bro, Martin for life.
Appreciate you, CJ.
All right, hold on, but right quick. Craig, you still on this network, nigga? Don't you ever talk about BS3 like that, nigga?
Let it make it,
man. He listened. That's a viewer, and I go into that YouTube matrix, that YouTube algorithm. He only said Trill once. Right? I only heard it once. So he moving up. All right. I wanted to get to this. They talked about the characters that Martin did. What is your favorite character of Martin on this show?
I say Jerome in the house. I say Jerome in the house. I see.
He was more easy. Yeah, it's gotta be Jerome. He was more current than most of the damn cast.
Now check it out. When I say Jerome, especially A-Trap, listen to this. You remember Lenny from Good Times. My name is Lenny, and what you want, I can now. So that's who Jerome remind me of. I think those are the same dudes, man.
Yeah.
Jerome was Lenny me Sweet Daddy.
Sweet Daddy. Oh yeah, I forgot about Sweet Daddy. That's right. Yeah, Jerome could have been a main. Him and Shanae could have been main characters. They could have done a spin. They could have been a spinoff. Because they were on there more frequently.
They were on the MCM suit on, Jack.
Yeah. I mean, even at the Players Ball, I mean, it was just that's it, man. Jerome and Shanae were on there so much. It was just, gosh, man. I don't know if you could.
Yeah. I thought I heard
something. If you polled the world, they would probably say Shanae because had more pub out there, so to speak. You know, now you did, you know, and stuff like that. You know, she got that right.
I mean, they were comparing Shanae to Wanda. They were talking about who would be funny, Wanda or Shanae. So,
and I thought they were talking about doing. I don't know if that was a joke, but I thought they were talking about doing some type of movie or something with them too.
I thought that'd have been. I think that'd be fantastic.
Oh, God, that's gonna still fantastic right there.
Man, so I don't know if that was real or not, but Jerome, but a close second was Dragonfly Jones, man. Anytime that character was on, man, it was.
Well, Otis, I guess you can say Otis was.
Oh, Otis.
Yeah, Otis.
It's cheaper than keeper.
You need to calm down, that boy.
Yeah. Oh, Otis.
Hey, but you know what? That just shows the magic of being black. This whole show, because everybody, no matter what part of the country you from, you know Jerome. Everybody knows a Jerome. Everybody got an uncle or
Everybody
uncle homie that
Yep.
act just like Jerome.
Yep, that's real.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mama Payne
Pass
too.
the peas like we used to do.
Mama Payne too. That's cool.
Yes.
But
Man.
this,
Yeah, Mama Payne.
I think, I think we've seen it, at least for me. I've seen it in movies. I'm not a professor, but I don't know if I've seen it on a TV show to this magnitude, at least in my generation. I'm sure y'all probably shows that y'all can
Yeah.
put Wilson or something like that. But I mean, this
Not
was
playing multiple characters. No.
multiple characters. Yeah.
Mhm.
That were
Nah,
Hey,
all
that's
nah,
most
this
of
is
they were
the
good.
all
of
funny.
the Nutty Professor.
None of them were not funny. They were all funny whenever they were on screen. So
Right.
I remember one time, it's just it was this kid that grew up in my neighborhood, and he I'm not kidding, he was built exactly like Roscoe. He had long arms and short legs. And the first time Blue Streak Freak saw him, he was flirting with her. And she laughed hysterically in his face for about 25 minutes.
Oh,
And he was a gangbanger.
wow.
She don't understand who I am. Which made it even funnier.
yeah,
Oh
she
my
was.
God. We used to call him Tony Crip, because like when the other gang would run at them, it would be 2 or 3 of them would literally pick him up and run with him like a football.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Was that I didn't remember that episode where Tommy was in the alley with the midgets. Was that what Bushwick Bill from
Yes, it was.
was it Bushwick
And
Bill?
Yeah,
that's
it
my man
was.
from Penitentiary too.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then,
okay.
that's right.
But then he said
Didn't you
before
hear
my
him
mind was
say,
playing
"I'm
tricks on me.
sorry, my mind was playing a trick"?
I was
Yeah,
playing tricks. Okay, all right. I was like, wait a minute. I
yeah,
don't remember that episode.
And
yeah.
Tommy was all serious in that scene too.
Yeah,
He was all
he was pretty
serious.
serious. I'd have to go back and watch that one. I don't remember that episode. I must have missed that one.
And before
Tony
we
Crip.
get
Rest
to,
in
because I
peace,
know
Tony Crip.
we're getting close to giving our mics and final thoughts and stuff like that. But before we do, let me just say, man, when I say I got emotional whenever they were doing the Martin and Gina moments,
Yeah,
and they were going over all their love and their romance and stuff like that.
right.
I mean, dude, and I was blown away at the fact that I felt that way. I had no idea it meant what it meant to me. It was getting to me on a subconscious level during the years of watching the show, and it all came out right then. And I was like, God, dog, this meant something, but that, like I said, I don't know if it was just that black love thing or what, man, but it got me.
That was
It start making me think about K-Rap and the Fifth Beatle for a while, man. I started getting teary-eyed.
like love. All right, we got a caller on the line. What's your name? We want to talk about last caller of the night.
I know where you live,
Hey,
Jack.
gentlemen, I'm enjoying the show. Y'all are behaving. Good job, everybody.
That's Mrs. Senator.
That's the first lady of BSC.
BS3.
One thing I really like is just how relatable Martin the show was. And so I don't know if y'all remember when they were going to get married and all his family came into town. And you know how our people can be. Everybody starts showing up.
Right.
Oh yes.
So still, and everybody has somebody like that in their family. And even I think that's the thing with all the characters, it makes you think of somebody. The little snotty nosed kid in the neighborhood, Otis, somebody's uncle. So I think that's one of the things that makes it so iconic is like you can see yourself and you can see your relatives, your neighbor in the characters in the show.
Yeah.
So thank y'all for
allowing
me to call.
Yeah. Real quick. You got a show. You got a show coming to the network. Let's talk about that. Let's get that plug in.
I do. So it's Life Coaching 360 podcast, and I'll be featuring different people, variety from creatives to those some who are in ministry, some people who are out in the world, but they have something to talk about. So I think it'll be a good place for everybody to come have a seat around the table and be able to share and receive.
And Friday night. Friday night at what time?
It'll be Friday. The first one will be Friday, August 5th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
That's
All
before
right.
the
I'll be
holiday.
featuring Brother Earl, but y'all will like him. He's an awesome young man, awesome artist, and he has
And he can make some bomb
great
tacos too.
opportunities to be able to share.
Yeah.
Tacos.
All right. Thank you.
That's the day before the holiday. That's
All
dope.
right.
All right. Have a good night.
Talk to you, man.
Upstairs. All right. So yeah, man, this was needed, man. This was needed, I think, on a lot of levels.
See, that's why you can't celebrate Negroes right there. She gonna correct it to K-Rap. Really, K-Rap and I equal Black Lux? What kind of Tubi TV shit is this?
That fool says to be TV.
What?
Ah,
That's how I watched Penitentiary, because I definitely wasn't paying for that.
Oh gosh.
I would have had to sit that one out if I had to put some money into that. Yeah, that's my
Let's
thing.
get Brian McKnight on that song.
Yeah. Brian McKnight was annoying to me.
hey. Now, on annoying to you on what?
His songs was just, I wasn't into R&B like that during that time.
Man, get to something else, man, because I don't even want to do you like this.
One last
really
cry.
don't.
That song was
No, hey, Wilkes, don't even worry about it, because for somebody to make a comment like that, it tells you everything you need to know. In fact, I'm thinking about when my contract is up, I'm thinking about signing with End of the Bits Network and Bill for this network. Shit, I'm out. I'm out.
Hey, no, don't do that, dog. My name already mud.
Man, what this dude
My
talking
name
about,
already mud in
man?
these podcast streets.
What that man? My mom had the cassette, man. One last cry. That
Yeah,
song alone.
hey, I'm gonna tell you this. Let me just tell you this. Let me tell you this quick story about Brian McKnight. I was at Medusa one night, where these concerts come in, and they had Brian McKnight was gonna be there. We'll get Music Soul Child open for him. And when I say Music Soul Child slayed, I mean put on a show. And I was thinking to myself, Brian McKnight, you are an idiot to have Music Soul Child open for you. Let me put it to you like this. About 3 songs in the Brian McKnight set, I was like, I see why you were brave enough to let him open. It didn't matter who opened for him. He was going to shut it down and play keyboards by himself and play the acoustic guitar on top of it. And Brian McKnight's talent is.
I'm not.
Did it take 6?
And he can hoop. And his name Brian. And his name Brian.
What's the gospel group?
His name Brian.
Let me out here. I'm getting it wrong. Take 6, take 5. What was the
Take 5.
Take 6.
Take 5?
I don't remember.
His brother
you got after 7, before 6, take 5. Yeah, I don't know.
Something like that.
112.
I'm like, it's in his jeans. I mean, come on, Ben. What you saying, Ben? Come on, man.
You say he wasn't in the R&B. I'm with Ben, man. Because during that time, I was boycotting them singing. I was boycotting them singing chumps too.
But I wasn't in line.
This comment says it. Ben, you tweaking, bro. Simple as that. Tweaking.
I wasn't in line. Thank you. That's why I love you. We Nas fans over here.
What
they got to do with R&B, man?
I'm with Ben.
What Illmatic got to do with R&B?
I'm not saying he was a bad artist. I'm just saying I was not in line. Brian McKnight.
I can identify that with that, Ben. Only reason I like him because his name was Brian.
Ben said he was in that NWA. He ain't got time for none of that other shit, man.
Like Redman said on his first album, we went with that punk smooth shit.
We all together.
Oh man.
No. All right. What's this comment?
Well, now
that's what we doing.
But now that Keisha said that,
look at what the missus got to say.
I need you in the comments. Every Monday night.
I can't.
And I'm singing every song loud.
Wow. What she say? Leo season's coming.
You are already loud, so the song
is here. Hey, yo, Tina,
Yeah. On the
Yeah, I
it's
can't.
here.
Oh, trust me, my daughter will be 10 on Thursday. I already know.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, let's
All
get to
right,
the
man.
ratings. Let's get to the ratings and final thoughts. Martin, the reunion. If you haven't seen it yet, you have to. You think it's nothing there for me to watch. It's a lot in there. We didn't hit a lot of points as well, so you got to watch this. But final thoughts and grades. We'll go to Doc first.
All right. I take notes when I'm watching whatever we're reviewing, and I try to write down whatever hits me. And so, about halfway through, I wrote down a note that says, the Lord has given us something, and how utterly selfish of us not to share. Well, not too long after, 20 minutes later, Carl Anthony Payne said the exact same thing. And then he added on top of that is, your gift is to facilitate your purpose. And for them to be so in tune with that, man, is that, we had a gift and we would be selfish not to put it out there, man. You can't keep it to yourself. It don't matter what your gift is. Your gift was given to you to facilitate your purpose.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Absolutely. I just want to piggyback off of Doc real quick. I know that's not my final thought, but
go for it.
Just when you facilitate your gifts like that, whether it be, in a sense, in a setting of, on a sitcom or something like that, it's like, it's bigger than you. Like Doc said, it's bigger than us. This is bigger than us.
Right.
Tommy knew the healing of laughter. It's one of those things where it's so much bigger than us. Like, even when we pass from these bodies, it's still bigger than us. It will always remain bigger than us.
That's right. That's right. And my mic rating is a 5. I personally think this is the best thing that we've reviewed. The only thing that's right there with it is the Western, the harder they fall.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm telling you, I walked away from this. That's the only thing that compares the feeling I had when I walked away from it. When I got through with it, is the harder they fall. And this, again, 5 mics all day long for me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I actually was going to give it 5 mics because I will never forget the episode that me and my mom were watching, and my grandmother was actually coming to pick us up to go out to eat, but my mom was stalling so we could finish Martin. Like, we could not leave until we finished that episode.
Yep.
So I have to give it 5, man. I mean, it's like I said, it took me back just talking, about it in high school with my friends. And did y'all see Martin? Did you see In Living Color Sunday night? Stuff like that. So it just really took me back. And I'm matter of fact, I'm rewatching the seasons right now on HBO because they have all the seasons on HBO. But yeah, it just takes me back.
I might be doing the exact same, actually, Wills.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. That's right.
Well, I'm about to disappoint y'all. I give it 2.5 mics.
Oh, that's cool.
It was solid. I
like
like
2.5.
Yeah, I think it was just okay. I think I enjoyed the Martin show. That's what made me go, oh yeah, that was cool. But it didn't do it for me.
No, that's okay.
I think the way they rolled it out, even like I can't be, and I think maybe was saying, I was hoping we weren't just going to get them sitting around talking and all that. So for the people that they had come back, to tell their story, to tell how it unfolded, and how the cast saw it and things of that nature. I think they did. I don't know that they could have did a reunion show any better, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
That's right. That's it. That
I was just like ho hum. I love the show, so I love seeing it. I love going back, but it didn't grab me like that. Yeah. Now the show was, like I said, I think this might be the best sitcom ever, and I think I don't want to conflate the show with the reunion.
Yeah, we get that.
So, 2.5.
Yeah. All right.
Ben?
That was actually Martin.
It's your future. Make it amazing.
That was actually Martin doing that. But man, that laugh was iconic.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
For me, I like this behind the scenes type stuff. I'm the guy that watches the movie, and depending on what it is, like The Harder They Fall, I wanted to find everything possible to see the details. So I'm gonna give it a 5. I was on the edge of my seat really the whole time, just because I like this kind of stuff. And then the pop up and the different people that came through. Tracy Morgan wasn't able to actually be there, but hearing him on his side, so I got to get you almost made shook me a little bit, A-Trap, with that 2.5, but I'm still gonna give it a 5. I think it was well needed. I agree with you.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wow.
We got some dissension. We got some dissension in the rank right here. Ooh, Love in Paradise. So we gonna get a new album from Summer Walker come out off this shit here.
No distinction, no discourse in the rap household.
Yeah. Somebody call Summer Walker. We got another breakup album we need to ask to write in a minute.
Hey, Wilkes don't give out 5s much.
Hey, not much.
I
have to say this
4 mics.
He changing?
No, I never said it was a 5 mic. See, I just like the nuance of Pootie Tang. Sadate, man.
I thought you said it was a 5 mic at one point.
Oh, no. I never said Pootie. Let's not get carried away now. I love Pootie Tang, but because I love it, don't make it great.
Yeah,
man. This is something that I would probably watch again. Obviously on someone else's Amazon account, but I would definitely watch it again.
And is Martin? And I know there was some rocky times, or that rocky time there. Is that the only show that's done a best of? Remember, they had a best of Martin. Is that the only show that's ever done that sitcom wise?
I wouldn't think so. You got, with all the sitcoms that have been out, it's bound to have been a best of somewhere.
Yeah, probably so. Like maybe Carol Burnett show, maybe, or
The Honeymooners.
Yeah, probably.
Right in the kisser.
Right in the kisser.
One of these days. One of these days, Alice.
Straight to the room.
The Fresh Prince one was all right to me. I think it was good to see him and the first one, Viv, reconnect. But other than that,
I didn't.
Martin had a best of, and then he had a reunion. Did Fresh Prince have something like that?
This is a great point right here.
Yeah.
Martin's humility throughout the reunion. That is a fantastic point. I thought the exact same thing. And they from what I understand, Erica, not only did he allow them space to shine on that reunion, he did that throughout the course of the show as well.
Yeah. And he pretty much sat back and said, I'm gonna let y'all shine, because everything he said, it wasn't like a me, and I did it. It wasn't for me. It was none of that. So I appreciated that too.
Yeah.
And
I'm really impressed with Martin as an individual after this, man. I really am.
Yeah. Oh, she's saying Fresh Prince had a best of.
Okay. I wouldn't. I think I kind of remember that.
Yeah. And I think this is when we talk about the fruit of our labor and the time that we put in. I think for Martin too, it was being able to see like, wow, this is something that we put together, and to hear other people talk about it. I think it was like a proud, like Papa moment. Like, this was my baby. How you guys were involved.
Exactly.
That core, there was no other people that came in. It was that core.
Right.
There was no other extra cast members. They didn't add no extra girlfriends. You never seen Big Shirley's face ever. You seen her arm.
Right.
That was probably some dude, but you never seen and then you had Tommy and Pam dating, so it wasn't like they added a whole bunch of outside people.
What is this? Supposedly,
and
is this a real show? Martin is horror. What's this night horror version of Martin or whatever that? Where Cole was looking, he was stalking Pam, or what? Did we see a trailer? Somebody shared a trailer of that.
We shared a trailer in the chat.
That's supposed to be real, or
I think so.
gosh,
So.
it was weird. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I told you you're supposed to be doing a spinoff. It was like a darker version of this. It wasn't a
Yeah.
comedic version.
It was more so focused on Carl Cole,
Yeah.
him being
Right.
angry that he couldn't get Pam, and it was more like a
call. We gonna since Ben want to talk about Carl, we're gonna have to do Carl Winslow one day, I guess.
Oh man, I couldn't find his hat. He was talking about he had a hat line. I couldn't find his hat.
They look good though. They look good.
I rocked that hat. I couldn't find the headline. I have to look it up.
Yeah, that I don't know if I can find that trailer. I'll send it to the BS because it was.
But what
it was
on
weird.
the Shirley on the big Shirley thing, I think that another thing I liked about it, there were things that happened organic show, and her face not being shown was one of them.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they're like, we didn't
Or
plan
his
that,
mama,
it just worked out, and we went with it. You know.
Yep. Big Shirley was little.
Well, even his mom, they didn't show his mom either.
No, they showed his mom.
Man.
They showed. Did they ever show? I didn't know they showed his mom.
His mom was she one of the queens of comedy. She used to be the cook on BET Comic View.
Oh,
what's her name? Miss Laura or something like that.
I thought they had her like just in the background.
Oh, hold on, I'll tell you her name in a second. Yeah. His mom was her. I can't think of her
called
name.
the moms. Yeah.
Moms. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we appreciate all the support. I'll say we because we all appreciate the return, the viewers and comments. I mean, that's what makes this show continue to go is the interaction. They showed her face when Cole.
Okay.
Laura Hayes.
Okay, that was the only time. Okay, because I felt like they had her in the background, but you never saw her. But then I guess they did eventually.
Because remember, she put Cole out.
She did. He didn't have nowhere to go. He was sleeping on the couch, clipping them toenails.
Oh yeah, even Gina's parents. The mom was funny. The dad, I don't know. They didn't have.
That's all right. I'm rewatching the series on HBO. So
yeah.
All right, Nick came out of Martin. Angry Man.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about Angry Man. Was he? I felt like I've seen him on other shows or movies or something, but he didn't really. I guess I felt like he was in like not like Harlem Nights type kind of movies, but I felt like he had cameos and things.
Sit your ass down.
Man, sit your ass down.
The barbershop scene too. We didn't talk about that, but the barbershop scene.
Oh yeah,
too.
the barbershop.
That was realistic. What happened in the barbershop? You clown on people. The person that go down to the dude on the end and don't know how to cut.
Right. No, yeah.
Always.
Yeah, don't go to the last chair.
Be like on the
bang bang.
Come over here.
Be like on Atlanta. You know, you like chicken?
Your barber,
you go to that last chair.
Yeah, your barber leave you while you go across the street get some churches. He eat it over there, and then he come back. You still in the chair like, yeah. Oh, you still here? Oh, I forgot. I need to line you up. That's like barbershops, baby.
Right.
All right, coming up next week, Dave Chappelle's "What's in the Name." We'll be reviewing that. That is on Netflix right now. So that is going to be another good one next week. Thank you for the calls, Keisha, CJ, Erica. Thank you for calling in too, and we will be back again next week with another fire episode. What's coming up tomorrow on End of the Bench?
It is entitled "Get Ready."
You gonna have Bishop T.D. Jakes on or something? Get ready.
Woman thou loose.
I'm scheduled to have my homeboy Sean Walker. He is running for state senator, and potentially, if things don't go right, he's gonna run for alderman in our old neighborhood. And I'm just gonna talk about the way these people have officially lost their damn minds in this country. This dude Nick Fuentes literally said in front of a cheering crowd, he does not want the country to go back to 1999. He wants the world to go back to 1099, when women couldn't be educated, women couldn't vote, black people had no rights, because this is a white Christian country.
And neither.
Right.
Yeah. I
Neither.
that's what he said.
Craig, you need to go after that dude.
Yeah, Nick Fuentes says he wants women to get married. Oh yeah, you can't have any. You can never wear contraceptives or birth control either.
Okay, now you're talking. Say that again.
Hey, he said women should get married at 13. Women should get married at 13 and have as many babies as they can. So I'm gonna talk about him and how it's. I got this from Associated Press. This story from Associated Press. How out of the 407, I think it's 407 hospitals in the state of Texas. I wrote it down. I never take good notes. Yeah, 407 hospitals. 28 of them. I mean, 2 of them complained about what the treatment of women. There were 28 women in the last 2 weeks that had near-death experiences because, like one woman, a doctor would not remove a stillborn child from her due to the new abortion laws. And a lot of these doctors doing these things. One woman had to be put on a ventilator. And a lot of, not to besmirch the doctors, some of these doctors trying not to get sued, because if I violate the law, if I do what I'm supposed to do, I'm violating the law, and then I might end up in jail. So it's a conundrum, and man, one doctor delayed an abortion up into hours before this lady passed away. So it's tough. And 40% of those 28 women, according to this article in Associated Press, have ongoing medical issues because of these people. So better get ready. The fight starts. And then we're gonna talk about Walgreens. That's a preview. Walgreens. Wait till you hear about Walgreens.
Lee, you got me hooked right now. So don't say no more, because you got me hooked. I want to tune in just for that.
Yeah,
I ain't lying.
Madness that's going to actually, you might miss it, Doc. You might have to catch it later, because that's going to be the last thing I talk about. And basically, I'm just going to say this: if in the event that we decide as a community or as a positive thinking community, not just the Black community, that we are going to boycott something, we need to walk away permanently this time. Going forward, if it gets to the point where we say, you know what, we boycotting them, we don't need to boycott people for a week or a month. We need to walk away permanently to let people know we're not playing. And that's just not us. That's the Asian community. That's the non-power seeking white community. That's the Latino community, and us. Because if I can piss you off and I know you're gonna come back in 6 months, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Right.
But this thing, wait till you hear this thing about Walgreens. As a matter of fact, Doc, I might speed the show up just so you can hear it, since you got interested. Mm-hmm. I might even switch it up, but this Walgreens thing, and people like Ted Cruz, this dude, he captained the Rudy team.
Theodore
Raphael has officially lost his mind.
This guy, man.
Yeah, Raphael. Dude, they are trying. It's in South Carolina. This ain't Raphael, but in South Carolina, they are in the midst of drafting a law that if a woman is considering an abortion, you can kill her.
What?
Yeah.
You mean Alec is right now? Ain't right
Huh?
now. You mean Alec? Remember the in 13?
Oh yeah.
Alec.
No. Yeah, Alec or whoever in behind this.
Yeah.
Be Alec. It could be anybody, but just like in the state of Louisiana, if you get an abortion, you could be put on death row. And I'm trying to understand how in the entire hell can you threaten to kill a woman for considering an abortion and then you kill a lady and the baby? So ain't that double murder? Mm-mm.
Right. They trial you for double murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we better get ready, man. And we need to. And my last topic tomorrow, well, one of the end topics tomorrow will be these single issue voters. If you're a single issue voter, you are a complete moron.
Mhm.
You know, I ain't get reparations, so I ain't vote no more. These people have been trying to take over the United States of America for 55 years. Well, 57 years.
Probably longer than that.
No, I'm just saying they've been trying to recapture their power for 57 years.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Signing of the Civil Rights Bill, Civil Rights Act. So if it took them 57 years to get here, it really and this sad part is we could literally, okay, and then I'll let you talk, dog. We could literally take over the government in the next what is it, 6 months to the election, 5 months to the election, and 24 and 5 is 20. In the next 29 months, people with good sense could take over the country simply because every single House of Representatives seat is up on the ballot either in 2022 or 2024. Every senator is up for re-election in either 2022 or 2024. So if you really want to take over the country, if you really are a person who's not a Riri,
yeah,
you need to get your ass up and vote. And then all these things could potentially clear up. Otherwise, you better get you some real nice jeans and some good boots, because this is me, and I'm not being hyperbolic, but understand what if you don't get your ass up and vote over the next two elections, understand the first act will be they will be shipping people from these penitentiaries straight to plantations to do the field work. I'm just letting you know that's next.
Oh.
That is on the horizon.
I can see that.
So, and they also, and people who are saying, hey man, this could never happen. I'm gonna just get a passport and leave. Essie and Paul Robeson thought the same thing. Paul Robeson stood in front of the Congress, and when they were attacking people for being communists, and he said he was a citizen of the world and not of America, and they revoked his Essie Robeson, Paul Robeson, and W.E.B. Du Bois and his wife's passport immediately. So if you think you can just, oh man, I ain't doing this, and
yeah.
And then when you look at this jackass who was running with Trump, he literally was saying Trump could be the first king as of January 6th. So look, man, we are dealing with these power-seeking nationalists, evangelical Christian types, and they
it was
black ass.
Yeah, I mean, it was Trump a few years ago that said, "What is it?"
Steve Bannon.
Right. Oh well, but Trump himself was thinking about it, re-invoking the what was it, the term? What was it? Roosevelt that got reelected how many times? Four times or 8 terms? Yeah, I was like, stop, man, stop.
Yeah, they're living in a, I don't know where they're living.
It's like you don't want to be a communist country, but you got communist motives, though.
Mm-hmm.
You think one party has all the answers? I don't.
Nick Fuentes says he does not want to take it back to 1999. He wants to take it back to 1099.
But they don't want to be North Korea or China. Got it.
He maybe wasn't even here.
Got it.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, so that means you're going back to Europe and living in the Dark Ages?
Right.
Because around that time, Mansa Musa was the man. But so
a lot of riches.
All right, what's coming up tomorrow on Queen, King?
Tomorrow on Queen 3 and King, The Art of Saying No. And we will have a special guest host, the award-winning radio personality, Shannon Thomas. She will be on with us again. I think this will be her second appearance on Queen 3 and King, formerly of Heaven 97, formerly of 105.7. She's done some producing and things of that nature, so she will be on tomorrow. So it ought to be a fun show as I try to get her out of her professional radio disposition and trip her up and just make her get real and shit. So
that should be funny.
That ought to be fun.
All right. Well, that's what's coming up tomorrow. End of the Bench at 6 Central and Queen 3 and King at 7. Also, BS3 TV at early in the morning. We have Snowman in the morning. They are on at 7 to 10 Central. We also have, he's been a guest on here a couple of times. Andre Jones, Lunch Break, does a show from 12 to 1. And then we have the Nightcap with Queen 3 and King and Marriage is Real coming up at 8:30. Always doing a great job. And H-Track as well. And End of the Bench, and also built for this network. So, like we always do, we pass it over to H-Rap to close us out.
Oh, man, salute to Reggie O'Shea and Craig Smith by saying, dream those dreams and man up and woman up, live your dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in technicolor and surround sound. And y'all already know, man, with inflation as high as it is, if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Peace. What we need to know.
Sybil Wilkes with What You Need to Know. Today is Monday, July 25th, 2022. Number 1. It was 1 month ago the United States Supreme Court overturned the 49-year-old ruling that provided abortion protection nationwide. In addition to criticizing the court for erasing the reproductive rights of women with the overturn of Roe v. Wade, Vice President Kamala Harris is on the road, leading discussions with citizens in their fights against Republican state lawmakers. During a roundtable discussion in Virginia Saturday, the Vice President focused on the efforts by Republican legislators to make abortion illegal with minimal exceptions. Monday, she'll be in Indianapolis. Number 2, despite a promise to recuse herself in a race-based admission case involving her alma mater, the Supreme Court has devised a way for a new Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson, to participate, at least in one case. During her confirmation hearing, Judge Jackson stated she would sit out the case involving Harvard University's admission policy. Not only did the court's first black female justice graduate Harvard as an undergrad and Harvard Law, Jackson was also a member of the school's board. The High Court separated the two cases involving race-based admissions at Harvard and the University of North Carolina. Justice Brown will hear arguments and vote in the public university, North Carolina. Number 3, according to President Joe Biden's doctor, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, Mr. Biden continues to improve significantly despite a lingering sore throat from his coronavirus infection. The president has been taking Paxlovid, an antiviral drug that helps reduce the chance of severe illness. Dr. O'Connor wrote that Mr. Biden still has a sore throat, though other symptoms, including a cough, runny nose, and body aches, have diminished considerably. Number 4. Brianna Greer, a 28-year-old black woman, was having a mental crisis on July 14th at her home in Sparta, Georgia. Police were called and she was put in handcuffs and placed in the back of a police car for intoxication. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Ms. Greer sustained significant injuries after she fell out of the police car and was pronounced dead at Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta 7 days later. Doctors told Brianna's family she suffered 2 skull fractures. The Bureau of Investigation said Brianna's body will be taken to the GBI Crime Laboratory for an autopsy. Number 5. One of the country's largest mobile phone companies will pay up following a cyber attack that swiped important customer information. Following a class action lawsuit, T-Mobile has agreed to pay $350 million to customers after it was disclosed that personal data was stolen through the cyber attack. Nearly 80 million U.S. residents were affected by the breach. In addition to social security numbers, other information included names and information from driver's license or other identification. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Remember, negative thoughts create a negative mindset. Be positive. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with our comedians, Huggy Lowdown, Chris Paul, and social justice activist Coy Malone as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SibylWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.